And hello once again, everybody. Welcome to part 98 of this OOTP 21 Perfect Team Series featuring the soon-to-be ex-Universal Pioneers. It is March 16, 2021. For some of us in the United States, we have gotten our stimulus checks, but if you have an account with the big bank, that comes tomorrow or later, depending on how nice your bank is to you. We have 64,951 points in the Perfect Point Bank. This is the next to last episode. When we do part 100 on Sunday the 21st, Lord willing, and the creek doesn't rise, that will be it. As you can see, OOTP 22 just around the corner. And we will be getting to that next week. And we'll see what we'll see when we get to that. They have revealed elements of the game. OOTP Developments has, but it's basically OOTP 21 with just a few more bells and whistles. At least that's what I have seen so far. If you're keeping track, the Universal Pioneers are 17 and 20 right now in the league they are in, which totally escaped me. Perhaps I should check the standings. We're in Bronze League 2, 62. We are 4th place in our division. And so far, it doesn't look like we're going anywhere in terms of this league. This will probably be the last time I actively participate in a league with OOTP 21. We're 15th in runs scored. And with our lineup, that's kind of strange. And we are 2nd in runs against, which doesn't surprise me. So what we're going to do today with 64,951 in the Perfect Point Bank, we are going to get 64 bronze pulls. And we're going to do another pullathon, which will probably be our last. Our next 2 episodes should be short, so settle in, grab a beverage. This episode may last a while. 64 pulls. We're going to take a look at 384 cards, if my math is right, which I believe it is. And here we go. In the last week, we will have looked at over 1,000 cards. We have not found a perfect card all season, and I sold the perfect card players that I had acquired through auctions, and they only yielded me about 64,000 points. So Bip Roberts is the headliner there, and we will go to pull number 2. He used to play for the Padres back in the 90s. I'm hearing fireworks because we did get a gold card, and that totally skipped my attention. Can we get that perfect card pull? Then on the episodes Thursday and Sunday, we're just going to take the shortest route to the number of points that I have, because I probably won't have any for the last 2 episodes here. This has been a longer goodbye than Johnny Carson's was in the early 90s. Now, here I picked up a couple of silvers. I picked up Tommy Pham, the former Ray, and Justin Wilson. And we got Lee Tannehill again. And we're going to add players to the team, perfect team, one last time. If any of them are big enough to make it, and we'll sell the rest, and we'll just wash, rinse, and repeat until we have exhausted all of our points. And then when we come back Thursday and Sunday, we're just going to take the quickest route to the number of points that I have. Another silver. We've had a whole bunch of silvers and 1 gold. Ellie Rodriguez of the Angels was the highlighter there. Shane Spencer was one of those one-hit wonders for the 0-1 Yankees. Another gold, Billy Swift. I remember him. Another historical, Marv Grissom, and Otis, my man, Nixon. We have seen his card before on this series that I have been doing. In other sports news, the college basketball tournament beginning in a couple of days. 68 teams, and they're playing all the contests in the state of Indiana. which I find kind of interesting. Not seeing anything of note. And here we only picked up, well, we should pick up a bronze. Yes, Tyler Webb was the pickup there. A gold, Trevor Rosenthal. And there was one other bronze, Almonte of the Padres. A lot of the experts liking the Padres' chances this year to at least make a wild card spot, but they're in a bad division with the LA Dodgers being so dominant as of late. We picked up another gold, big word, so we should have a repull to do. So that's 10 down and 54 to go. Will there be a perfect card in this mix? We have not seen one all year other than the perfect players I've picked up through auction, which I have now all sold. And they only yielded about 20,000 each, which is kind of a shame. Matt Tice, and Jacob Junis, the headliners in this poll. And as you saw, if you were looking at my episode last week when I did 100 polls, it takes a while to do 100 polls. And I imagine it'll take a while to do 64 and take a while to do whatever that yields. Jason Dixon, Tom Brookins of the '84 Detroit Tigers, who were so dominant that year and were the rightful winners of the World Series. Louis Aguayo of the '85 Phillies. And Sam Coonrod, also in this list. Is that how you say his name? I could be wrong. It could be pronounced Conrad. Okay, here we got four bronzes. Adam Frazier, Diaz, Irvin, Philip Irwin, and Kurt Wilkerson of the '88 Texas Rangers before they moved to the ballpark in Arlington, and then now since they have moved to Globe Lake Park. Couple of interesting cards in this poll. We had Sammy Amoros of the '57 Brooklyn Dodgers. Of course, that was the last Dodger team in Brooklyn, unless one day they move back. And Tyler Duffy of the Minnesota Twins, a '79. So he could be a gold at the way he is trending upward. Two more bronzes, Hasley and Sandoval, Phillies and Angels, respectively. Randy Choate and Brock Holt leading the way on that set. We're down to 46 left. Will I see that perfect card? Will I know what it looks like when I see it? Because it's been so long. Here's another gold, Corey Seager. So looking for that hundo still. And there's another Pullathon, I'm calling them. Of course, they're coming out this year, OOTP 22, with a perfect draft. I think I love the draft. I love the draft in these OOTP games. It's one of the real joys about doing all of these games is doing the drafting. I could just do, in Franchise Hockey Manager, I just basically do drafts. And occasionally I make trades. But usually the trades I make suck. Maybe I'm just not good at hockey. Well, I'm a Florida boy. Not a Florida goy. What's a goy? 65 was Emilio Pagan, and the rest were just your typical iron jabronis. Did he say that? Okay, so where's the bronze this time? They say the odds of getting a perfect card are 1 in 1,000. We've gone, in the last week or so, we've gone over 1,000 cards. We haven't found one. So Joey Wendell, key part of the Tampa Bay Rays club, he's playing second base. He's on this list, as was Mr. Brandon Drury, third baseman for the somewhere other than Toronto Blue Jays, who will be starting their season in Dunedin, Florida, so Tampa Bay will have two teams. It's not just that the Rays made the World Series last year and the Lightning won the Stanley Cup, the Bucks win the Super Bowl. We got two baseball teams now, one in Dunedin. Dunedin, for those of you who don't know, Frank Baumholtz was the big player here. Dunedin's a little north of Clearwater and west of Tampa, and that's where the Blue Jays do their spring training. And they're just going to stay there, apparently, and we're going to wind up with, at least for the start of 2021, we're going to have two teams in this market, which would make us the 8th market to host two teams. Profar of San Diego, Anthony Rizzo, first baseman for the Cubbies, Carlos Santana of Cleveland. Now, quick, name the other 7 markets that have had two baseball teams at the same time. New York, Chicago, Boston, Philadelphia, St. Louis, Los Angeles, technically. They're in the same media market. San Francisco, I know we got the San Francisco Giants and the Oakland A's, but they're in the same market. And now you have Tampa, the Tampa Bay Rays and the Toronto Blue Jays. Last year, Toronto played in Buffalo, so that's why I call them the somewhere other than Toronto Blue Jays. Jorge Julio. That has to be a terrible card if he's pitching he's pitching for Colorado. Carl Erskine, the 55 Brooklyn Dodgers. And a lot of these cards I've seen before. That's another thing. When we were doing this pull-a-thon last week, all these cards look very, very familiar to me. It's like, you don't want them? Well, let's just give it to him again. Charlie Root. Always had plenty to say to Babe Ruth, if you ever watched the Babe Ruth movie John Goodman was in. And Paul Suey of the Indians in 1996. Nearly said the 57 Indians. But I would be dating him. We have 36 packs left. We have nearly gone through half of these packs. As soon as I get OOTP 22, I'm going to do an unboxing episode, as they're referred to. Joaquin Benoit is a 58. Trevor Gott, a 62. Tyler Heineman, 63, catcher for the Giants. So on we go. Jose Iglesias, who I don't believe is related to Julio. Julio had a good run in the 80s. He was duetting with Willie Nelson, and he put out a couple of English language albums. Jose Iglesias, and who else? Nick Markakis, who just retired, by the way. So his card is still up. He'll probably have to be reissued as a historical card at some point. I have not listened to this week's OOTP Now podcast that they put out last week. I'm going to try to do that tonight. I've subscribed to about 10 different podcasts, and I try to listen to at least half of them when they come out. Like if there are 4 podcasts I haven't listened to, I try to do 2. If there are 3, I do 1. If there are 2, I do 1. If there are 1, then I try to hang on to it. Del Maxwell of the '68 Cardinals, who almost knocked out the Tigers in the World Series that year, but lost in 7 games. That was pretty much it for this group. We're halfway through. We have 32 packs to go. I think we will do a lightning round with the points accumulated, and we'll just get to the we'll get gold cards, and we'll get whatever gets us through the points that I sold off faster. I think if there were a perfect card available, I would have found that Charlie Morton, who is now with the Braves, and Sam Fold again. I've been seeing Sam Fold quite a lot, who was a one-time Tampa Bay Ray, who I think moved on. And actually, we got him from Oakland, and I think he had an injury that pretty much shut down his career. Brian Presley, Cesar Puello, and Jim Perry. No, not the talk show, not the game show host, who hosted Sale of the Century and a few other shows, Card Sharks. No, this was a rookie sensation card. He was a starter on the '59 Cleveland Indians. Jim Perry also hosted a bunch of game shows in Canada that I've seen YouTube videos of, but he's mainly known in the United States for Sale of the Century and Card Sharks. Canadian-born Jim Perry and Mike Zunino, Jeff Hoffman, and Jordan Montgomery. We go through another round of pulls. I think we have about 27 of these left after this pull. Still no perfecto. We do have Max Stassi, whoever he is. So here we had Derek Fisher, Scott Iyer of the '09 Phillies that made the World Series, a lefty reliever, and Robles of the Angels. A silver, a bronze, now 2. Give you some baseball news that just occurred this afternoon. LeBron James now owns a piece of the Boston Red Sox. Don't know if you've caught that yet. J.D. Davis, Claude Corbett, and Ronald Torreyes, maybe. I don't know. Those are the cards I just picked up. And once we're done with Sunday's episode, this is how the team will remain in perpetuity. Johnny Logan. I imagine that there could be some people with computers who play OOTP 11 still. Johnny Logan, Dustin May, and that's it for the bronzes. 24. I don't know how I feel about LeBron James owning a baseball team when he's an active player in the NBA. But then again, not too many people have been in the position where they could own an own a baseball team while playing for another sport. But I think that's something the leagues will have to look into whether or not they want that. We had Franchi Cordero, Nico Horner, and Rafael Marchand, which sounds like the soup you get at the store. Well, actually, that's Maru-chan, which is kind of like the alternative to ramen noodles. Wayne Garrett, who played on the '69 Mets, if I'm not mistaken. Juan Uribe. And Garrett's card is from when he was on the '73 Mets, that also made the World Series but lost in 7 to the Oakland A's. And there's Juan Uribe, 03. 05, I beg your pardon, White Sox. I believe that was the year they won their World Series. And then 11 years later, the Cubs won the World Series for the first time since 1906. Okay, a few cards worth looking after here. We have Jim Bagby, who was a starter on the 20 Indians. On that team was, I believe, Ray Chapman, who was the only player in baseball history, at least Major League history, to be killed by being hit by a pitch. He was hit right in the head and later died. Caleb Ferguson of the Dodgers, the only other player of note here, is Placido Polanco, who was a second baseman for the 06 Tigers. Yeah, he was killed by a beanball, and it was thrown at his head. And this is back in an era where they didn't have batting helmets, so Chapman took it right in the head, and he later died. I believe that's happened in cricket a few times, where players have been hit in the head and have died. Taijuan Walker, and that was the only player of note in this episode. I think there was an incident in Australia where a player was hit in the head by a cricket, and those cricket spears are pretty hard, harder than baseball, I would think. You get hit in the head by one of those in the right spot, you're pushing up the daisies. And Luis Torrens of the Mariners, it says here, is the key pickup here. Devi Garcia also, and we're down to 19. Cricket's one of those games that over here in the United States gets no attention, but I think baseball gets more attention abroad. Baseball probably gets more attention in Europe than cricket does here in the United States, and I always kind of wonder how that is. Hasley of the Phillies and Ty Buttrey of the Angels. It's getting late, guys. 18 more of these packs left. Alex Claudio, and who else? Nobody on that go around. A lot of bronzes. I think we had 4. We had Travis Demerit, Willie Castro, Luis Gonzalez, Dustin May, who was a starter on the Dodgers. I think that's like the 3rd, 4th time I've seen Dustin May in these bronze pulls. But I'm very interested to see how the perfect draft is going to work out. Sergio Romo, who's been almost everywhere, and Jose Castillo, and Jay Guerra. We have 15 pulls to go, so we have done 49 of them. We're getting near the nitty-gritty. Some historicals here. We've seen 2. And those were Sean Chacon and Ed Brinkman of the Washington Senators, before they moved to Texas, the second incarnation of the Washington Senators, the first carnation having moved to Minnesota. Incarnation. Carnation instant breakfast. Braxton Garrett, Ramiel Tapia in this list. Whitey Witt was the historical pull. Del Unser, no relation to Al or Bobby. And Witt was a 64. Ryan Stanek, who used to pitch for the Rays, now with the Marlins. He was sent to Miami in that trade, I believe, that we got Brian Anderson for. Not the Rays commentator, but another pitcher named Brian Anderson. And Del Unser, If you ever watch the Rays games outside of Tampa Bay, it's Dwayne Stats and Brian Anderson, who used to pitch for Arizona and Kansas City, who do the commentary, and it's very good. And Anderson's been doing it with Dwayne now for over a decade. Billy Goodman, commentary that is, Mr. Hernandez, and Bubik, and Frankie Montes. Okay, one more bronze, two more bronzes. But we haven't seen a diamond yet, and we definitely haven't seen a perfect card yet. Breivik Valera, Jake Cave. You think OOTP knows that I do these videos, and they're probably like, he's that guy that does the videos, don't give him any perfect cards. I'm sure it's not the case, but it did cross my mind. Craig Breslow was the historical. Cody Whitley and Jake Fraley. So we're down to 9 packs to open. Cleet Boyer. And that's it. And if it doesn't happen, that's fine, because when I was playing OOTP 20, I picked up 3 perfect cards in these pulls, so maybe it's meant to balance out. James Karnachak was a gold. DJ Stewart. We tried, but yet we gave it the office. Tom Hilgendorf. That was it. The rest were all irons. Another iron. A bronze. 2 bronzes. Another iron. Another iron. And a 4th iron. Don Larson, 56. Now, see, I would think that card would be worth a little bit, because this is the card of Don Larson, who in 1956, as some of you know, pitched the only perfect game in the World Series. It was against the Dodgers at Yankee Stadium. Rex Brothers. MLB Network, a few months ago, had that game. I believe it was because Don Larson just recently passed away. And you can hear a very young Vin Scully calling the game. And he famously said, "Got him! It's the greatest game ever pitched. A no-hitter, a perfect game in a World Series." But Vin could do it a lot better than I can. Jose Alvarez was the highlighter there. We have 4 packs left. Come on, guys. Silver. Johan Camargo. Nick Markakis again. So that's the second time we have seen Nick Markakis. At least Marvin Gonzalez. Unless I saw him a 3rd time earlier and I just can't remember it. Larry Boa of the 83 Cubbies. Here we had Mark Gardner, Dylan Moore, and Larry Boa, the aforementioned Larry Boa. 2 more packs. And we'll play the lightning round after this and just get the quickest assortment of cards until the perfect points run out. Here we had Billy Goodman of the 53 Red Sox, Mark Patton, Devin Smeltzer, and Nick Margificus. Okay, last pull. Someone will tell me how to pronounce that name, maybe. Ray Ollier, that's another card I have seen recently. And that's it. So, first thing we will do is we'll see if anybody can make the team off the list. And there were a few. because I saw the list change a little bit here. Charlie Morton made the team, Jimenez made the team, and Vic Wertz made the team. So there you go. Vic Wertz, who I think he was the one who was robbed by Willie Mays in the '54 World Series. So we're going to look at our inactives. We're going to hide our active cards, and we are going to tag them and quick sell them, and we will get how many points back? 10,751 points. Well, only one thing left to do, and that's get a diamond packed. We haven't seen a diamond all throughout those 64 cards. So let's see what this brings, and we'll at least have a few more rounds of pulls. So one diamond. There it is. Aaron Judge, right field. I'm just going to make Vic Wertz's stay on the Universal Pioneers rather quick, I would think. And there we go. So we do the same thing. It's wash, rinse, and repeat time. We will ask the AI to set up the lineups. Jimenez actually was the one that quickly goes off. Sell the tagged cards. And we have... And here's the part of this where a game show you'd be going, ding! 1,776. 1776. So one more bronze, and that should probably do it, unless we pick up cards that'll get us 224 more points. And that's a bronze. Nope, mathematically impossible now, so this was the last pull. So again, we did a lot of pulls and didn't come away with a perfecto, which is fine. And we are going to sell. And that brings us up to 866. So we should have, by the time we come back on Thursday, points enough to do another pull. I only have to get 134 points. And if we do not get to 1,000 points on Thursday, I just might play a game or have a game replayed that I could show you and walk you through. And that's going to do it for part 98. We have been with you now 33 minutes almost. This has been Big Paulie coming to you. And here I am. And I'm going to wish you all well. Godspeed and God bless. We'll do it all again soon. Bye-bye for now, everybody.